This is Mahdiy, TBE Mahdiy. You feel me? From trenches and everything. Shout out all my trench babies. And, I appreciate you having me on here.
No problem, man. So we're just gonna start, jump straight into it, man. Just give us some background on yourself.
Shit. I'm I'm currently in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's why I started rapping and everything. So I say I'm from Greensboro, but really, I'm really from everywhere. Young and had it, you feel me, hard growing up type shit. So I'm really from everywhere, moving this, there, one, two. If it want one thing, it's another. So you feel me?
Word. And like
Yeah.
we're moving around, like, how was that for you?
I mean, that shit was hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was a little kid at the time, so I had so much pain in there. Like I mean, I didn't even know. So I was getting in trouble. You feel me? Always getting into a fight, kicked out of school type shit. And yeah, so I put my mama through a lot. I put a lot of people through a lot because I ain't just live with my mama through all my life. But I ain't know it's coming from a hurt place type of shit. You feel me? I ain't really had my dad in my life due to other situations, but yeah, so a lot of shit was going on. I was in and out of foster care and shit like that. So yeah.
And like, how did all that get put into the music? Because I know you always talk about this in your music and things like that. That hurt, that pain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I actually didn't even know nothing about rapping. I started rapping like when I graduated high school. I originally wanted to play basketball. Basketball ain't never work out for me though. And one time I was just like, fuck it, I'm getting the studio type shit. And I started freestyling first ever time, and everybody was just like, bro, why don't you start rapping? And then from there, my sister London B, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She was on Rhythm and Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my blood sister. Like we grew up together and everything. So I let her know I was trying to rap and everything. And then I started showing her some music. And then she was just like, you feel me? If you're gonna use music, use it to tell about your story and shit and about what you've been through and pain and shit. So that's what I be doing sometimes when I be switching it up type shit. But yeah.
Word. And most people that be doing music, like they don't, some rappers they be talking about, they story, and some just be like for the entertainment. And you're more on that, like, I got something to say and I want people to hear what I gotta say.
Yeah. For sure. I do have my entertainment music though. I still, you feel me? I feel like I'm versatile enough to, give people what they want, but at the same time tell my story, depending on how I feel.
Word. Who are some of your inspirations?
My number one inspiration, I'm be real, they go to my sister. And I'm not saying that because you feel me, she's just my sister and everything, but just, you feel me, I took a trip to her house one time and just seeing how she came so far with music type shit, like she getting paid doing something she loved. And it's just like, that shit real because it's like a couple years ago, we was just fighting like hell, like, you feel me, struggling, you feel me, type shit, like that shit was real. So I was just like, damn, she could do it. Like, you feel me? It's really possible. You just got to put your mind to it. So, but that would be my number one inspiration. But as far as artists I listen to like a mix. You feel me? I listen to a little bit of Rod. I listen to Youngboy, Dirt. I listen to Polo G. Like, I just like listening to people who got shit to say type shit.
Word. It's been a crazy year. We had rappers passing away due to, a lot of different circumstances. Some they could control, some they couldn't. And I know, rappers tend to, get in these little beefs and problems with people really over nothing. So, how do you navigate that when, those type of situations like come up, if you've been in any of those situations?
I'm not gonna lie, when I first started and people was doing shit like that, that shit used to get under my skin. But when you look at it, you feel me, people always gonna have something to say when you're doing something. So as hard as it may be, I don't really get into that Instagram stuff no more because at the end of the day, that's not gonna put food on my table. You feel me? It's not gonna make sure my people's straight. What's gonna make sure my people's straight is use my talent. So that's what I just be trying to be on. I don't really like getting on social media like that because of that type shit. Everybody got something to say on social media. Everybody can state their own opinion, and they'll judge you so quick but they ain't never been in your shoes. So it's just like I try not to pay attention to a lot of that. I just try to take care of what I got to take care of. You feel me?
Understandable, man. Understandable. And how has like the support has been, from like when you first started dropping music to now?
Um, I mean, I still got I got support. You feel me? It ain't nothing like when I first dropped. Cause when I first dropped, my very first song I ever dropped was with my sister. She was famous type shit. But a lot of people still been, you feel me, like around the city type shit. Outside of the city, sometimes I get, you feel me, messages here and there like, bro, like I really fuck with your music. People, older siblings, don't reach out to me talking about how they youngest siblings look up to me, or how every time one of my songs play, um, like they little sibling would just go crazy type shit. So I appreciate it. Like I still got support. I'm not gonna lie, that support is still there, but I mean, it's not as much as when I first started though, but it's still there. And it wasn't a minute where I wasn't dropping for a little minute. Like I wasn't dropping for a long time, just because I had to get myself situated, like as far as living situation, like life situation, like because life's still going on type shit. People don't realize that, but I do have a decent amount of support. I can say that.
In terms of like all the songs you've released so far, what would you tell, a fan that wants to get into your music? What's the first 3 songs you recommend them listening to?
Oh shit. To me, it's like I got so many good songs, and that's just to me. I don't know how it is to other people, but I would try to switch it up. Like 3 songs, I'll try to give you one on that ratchet shit. You feel me? Like what people like to hear, party type shit. And I'll probably give them for that song. I'll probably give them like "What the Fuck" Part 2. For 2, second song, I just to give them a little background on who I am as a person and why I am the way I am. I'll give them Nostalgia. I dropped that on my first EP, and that just go through. Yeah, I just go through with my younger life type shit and how I came up. Third song, hmm. Third song, I have to give them Going In because everybody love that song over here. Like, everybody love that song, so I just give them Going In with the Fuck Part 2 and Nostalgia.
And how have you like grown like this whole COVID? Because I know most people can't go out do shows, perform things like that. Like what have you learned kind of in that like period? You was like just kind of sitting down thinking in the house, things like that. Just had time to yourself.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit done taught me a lot, bro. That shit, I say this year I did a whole bunch of like maturing and seeing and taking shit for what it is. But one thing that it really taught me is like be grateful for what you got, because there's a lot of people who really out there and they really got less with what you got, and they really going through it. And another thing is just no matter how bad things may seem, just keep your head up. Because as long as you want better, and try to do better, better gonna come. It's always gonna come. And when it fall in your lap, what you decide to do with it is up to you at that point. Because it's gonna fall in your lap.
X. What would you tell, somebody that's younger than you as far as like they don't want to actually pursue rap and actually, give it a try?
You said for some rap what?
For somebody that wants to, actually take rap serious and, pursue it as a career, like what would you tell them?
Invest in yourself. Like it's like people can believe in you all you want, but as long as you don't believe in yourself and invest in yourself, you ain't gonna make it nowhere. And make sure you surround yourself around people who actually want to see you win, as opposed to trying to leech off you type shit. Because if you good, people gonna try to leech off you, and no matter what people may say it's trash, da 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 da. One thing about music is like when you start doing it, you automatically get better, especially if you put your all into every song, or just trying to like, you feel me, try some new shit. You always gonna get better. So what people say, oh, he trash, da da da. Don't listen to none of that, bro. Because people gonna catch on once they see you working, once they see like, okay, so this nigga for real. Yeah, that's when they gonna catch on anyway. People ride the wave all the time.
Most definitely, man. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on social media. My main page on Instagram is TBE.Mahdiy, Mahdiy. And on Facebook it's TBE Mahdiy. Snapchat .Mahdiy. And YouTube, all you gotta do is look up my name. Everything gonna pop up. And look up my name. If you got audio, mate, it's Mahdiy.
Word, man. Again, just, tell the people who you are so they know.
What's good with y'all? It's TBE Mahdiy, Trench Baby from Greensboro. Shout out all my Trench Baby, man. They know who they is. And we're going up with this, so y'all better get familiar.